KHOU 11 News This Morning starts now.
Good morning, everybody. We made it to Hump Day.
We did.
We did.
6:30 on a
We're
Wednesday.
definitely humping it out there. Promise you that.
Okay.
Okay, well.
You're talking about the roads,
Let me write-
those hills and the roads.
Let me write that down. You have a pen?
Yes,
I want to
sure.
keep that.
All right, weather-wise, guys,
Please.
weather-wise, it is a mild morning outside. We're getting ready for a hot day, as I just mentioned. 62 degrees right now. That's about our low temperature. I want to show you these forecast headlines. Look at that dawn breaking everywhere. Hot afternoon. 87 today for a high. Yeah, showers and storms after sunset. Nice temps, though, to end the week. It'll be a very nice end of the week with upper 70s. So it works out like this: 63 degrees in the next couple of minutes, 81 with warm sunshine by lunchtime, and a hot 87 by this afternoon. We'll track those storms with the latest future track computer model coming up. Darby?
Thanks a lot.
Yeah, I mean it. We are humping it out there. Plenty going on. We've got an accident working on the Grant Parkway northbound, just north of West Road. All lanes are blocked. You're able to get by on the shoulder, but it is backing up to West Road. Highway 225's outbound or eastbound side before the tollway. Have an accident working here, taking up 2 left lanes, backing you up into Pasadena, adding about 10 minutes to your drive time as you go eastbound. Coming westbound, just a little rubber decking delay, slow again as you approach Scarborough. Now let's go to our chopper.
Now a live look from KHOU 11 News Eye in the Sky.
And the hits just keep on coming. This is on I-10, the Baytown East Freeway inbound, right before the 610 loop. An accident's been moved over to the shoulder, but you can see fire department has rolled up on the scene here, put up the cones. They're taking up 1 right lane. This is enough to back you up to Federal. So if you're coming in from Channelview or Baytown, start looking for about a 10-minute delay there. All in all, running about 45 minutes to get from the Grand Parkway to downtown.
All right, Darby, thank you. We begin with breaking news. 2 teenagers, too young to even drive legally, died during a reported street racing crash in southwest Houston.
Yeah, they were racing on West Fuquay. They lost control. They crashed. Our Michelle Choi is there at the scene this morning. Michelle, just a heartbreaking story, really, because this didn't need to happen.
Yeah, that's absolutely right, guys. Heartbreaking and honestly very preventable. Now, we spoke with the aunt of one of the teenage boys killed in this tragic accident. She tells us her 15-year-old nephew was the one behind the wheel in that SUV mangled up behind that tree. A nephew she's raised since he was a little boy. This is 15-year-old Javier Hunter, an 8th grade middle schooler. She says his 15-year-old friend who was staying with him was in the passenger side. Police say both boys were killed instantly after crashing. The other teenage boy they were speeding against down West Fuquay Street was quickly detained. The aunt says her nephew Javier asked for her keys just before midnight, saying he was getting something from the car. She never expected it to end in such tragedy.
Children, y'all have to be accountable. Don't steal your parents' cars, because you will end up just like my nephew just did.
And guys, now more and more family members are starting to show up of these teenage boys, becoming an even more heartbreaking scene by the minute. Now, police tell us they'll be out here for several more hours as they investigate. I wanted to let parents of students who attend this this school here, this is Martin Luther King Early Child, they might want to go a different route because all of this section here near West Fuquay is closed off at the time. Guys, we're going to send it back to you.
All right, Michelle, thank you very much for that update.
It is 6:33, and this morning a lot of people across Texas, including us here in Houston, backing the blue this morning after somebody shot 2 Dallas police officers.
These right here are just some of the messages we have seen come in overnight and into the morning hours. The man accused of shooting those officers and a security guard is behind bars this morning. He was arrested overnight after a 6-hour manhunt and a wild chase. Chris Sadeghi is at the scene with more on how this all played out.
This chaotic evening ended with a chaotic chase that went down wrong-way streets, through red lights, and even through people's yards here off Lemon Avenue in Dallas. And it did not end until you see right here, until the street ends at this dead end. But the worst of the damage, not to the yards, but to those police officers critically injured while trying to serve a warrant. Within minutes of the radio call going out that the officers were down, the hunt was on for 29-year-old Armando Juarez. And over the next several hours, Juarez's picture was plastered all over social media while officers waited at the hospital for any kind of update on their downed colleagues. And then many of them sprang into action when Juarez was spotted. Even with police on his tail, though, Juarez did all he could to avoid capture. You can see from the helicopter shots exactly what I was talking about, putting even more lives in danger by going through yards and through red lights. It only stopped when he reached the dead end with nowhere to run. And after the wild ride, Juarez wouldn't even look at cameras, keeping his head down as he was led into the jail. But facing the consequences of an evening the family of these 3 officers will never forget. Now, Juarez was charged overnight. One of the charges, aggravated assault against a public servant. The officers were serving the warrant in the first place in relation to a missed court date back in February. That court date had to do with a stolen vehicle. Now we'll send it back to you.
All right. Thanks to Chris Sadeghi there. An HISD school board meeting turns to chaos, and after throwing the public out, it ultimately ended overnight with no decision made about the future of 10 underperforming schools. You see right here, a lot of folks refused to leave as the board considered handing over control of 10 schools to a charter organization. In our live poll this morning, we're asking, do you think charter schools are the solution for HISD underperforming campuses? As of right now, most of you say that, Russ, what is the percentage? Can you see that?
I can. It's no, 68%.
Thank you very much. You don't agree with it. You can let us know what you think by weighing in at KHOU.com/vote now or on our KHOU 11 News app.
It is 6:36, topping your morning rush. Take a look at this. We have some exclusive video this morning taking moments after a United flight returned to Bush Airport after a bird strike. United says the flight landed safely yesterday and all those passengers boarded another plane to resume their trip to Calgary. Police are hoping surveillance video will show what happened before a dump truck killed a cyclist near Rice University. Police say it appears that the woman entered the crosswalk just as the truck turned onto Main. No charges have been filed against the driver. President George H.W. Bush responding and recovering in treatment at Methodist Hospital this morning for an infection in his blood. His spokesperson Jim McGrath tells us he will continue to give updates when there is something to update. A third judge has now ruled against the Trump administration's plans to end DACA. That's the federal program that protects some young immigrants from deportation. The judge is now giving the Department of Homeland Security 90 days to better explain its view that DACA is illegal. And the Rockets are back in Houston this morning. They're ready to knock the Timberwolves out of the playoffs. Game 5 is tonight, 8:30 at Toyota Center. Good news for our guys. The Timberwolves have lost their last 13 games in Houston. What do you say we make it 14 tonight? That's your morning rush. Now let's send it over to Brooks Gardner for the one thing you need to know on this Wednesday.
All right, thank you, Russ. Well, one thing to know today, the one thing is that we are going to have the hottest day so far this spring, I think, here in Houston with a high around 87 degrees. This cool front's coming our way. That means changes. I'll show you the rain chances coming up.
All right, thanks a lot, Brooks. One thing you didn't know in traffic, there's plenty going on. We've got an accident working here. This is on the Grand Parkway going northbound just north of West Road. An accident, a couple of vehicles involved here. Freeway blocked, but you are able to get by on the right shoulder. Traffic's backed up to before West Road. It's going to cost you about 10 minutes just getting through the backup, so plan accordingly.
It is 6:38, trending this morning. A lot of people talking about Amazon's new delivery option. It's right to your car.
Yesterday, we asked what you thought about this idea. 71% of you said you don't think it's a safe idea.
Doug Deloney's here to help you decide if you think this is a good idea.
Doug, exactly how does this work?
Guys, it's just like the Amazon Key option that gives delivery drivers access to your locked home, only this one is for your car. Using OnStar in a special app, a delivery driver can find your car within 2 blocks of your address, unlock it, drop off your package, and then relock the car. While Amazon says it's just another way to protect your packages from porch thieves, not everyone is on board.
What if a thief wanted to get into your car and just go, hey, I know there's a cool Cadillac that's a 2015 and better down the street. Maybe they'll deliver some packages over there.
So if you do want to try this out, the in-car delivery is available to you if you're a Prime member in the Houston area. However, you have to have a later model GMC, Cadillac, Buick, Volvo, or Chevy. You have to have an active OnStar account as well. Some people have ideas of their own. Dana says, I'm waiting until they're going to deliver at the foot of my bed while I'm asleep. Aaron on Twitter says, we're just now one Amazon GPS bracelet away from the final version of couriers intercepting us on the street just to hand us our packages. And Texan here tweeting, sure, the next step is to just give them full access to your bank account so they can start sending you stuff before you even know that you need it. Who knows what's next? I think Amazon lockers, to be honest, are still your best bet. If you're having a problem with people taking stuff from your porch and you don't want to have access to your car or your house, Amazon lockers. If you don't know what it is, look it up. It's really great.
Yes, agreed.
I'm going to have a tough time giving anybody I don't know access to my stuff, my car, my home, whatever.
Nope. So it's a no for you at the foot of your bed while you're sleeping. No one coming over.
All of it's a big no.
You wake up, it's like, oh, thank you, Amazon.
I don't want to see anybody at the foot of my bed while I'm sleeping.
Oh my goodness.
That's strange.
Thanks, Doug.